Hello, folks, and welcome to Booghy Plays. Today I am playing with questions again in an interview with the designer of, or the co designer of Tolkien, The Voyages of Marco Polo, Council of Four, and some of my favorites like Newton, and Barrage. Today's guest is called Mago Baol on BGG, but his real name is Simone Luciani. Welcome, Simone, to Booghy Plays. O in Italian is Booghy se gioca. Come stai?
Bene, grazie. Hi, everyone.
Welcome. How is it in Italy today? Is it hot?
It's hot, but not bad. We have super hot in the last weeks, and probably we come back to super hot climate in the next week. But we have 7, 10 days of more or less normal temperatures.
Normal temperatures. um, you're okay. You're feeling okay. Welcome here. Welcome to our in my I call it a gaming room, a virtual gaming room in the virtual comfy chairs. I hope you're feeling comfortable. I hope you're all right, and I hope you're ready for questions.
Yeah, I'm ready. Thank you for inviting me.
It is my pleasure to be here. Um, we didn't manage to chat before the interview. I usually before the interview manage to chat for I know 20 minutes with the guests, but now I had some problems with the power with the electricity. It I didn't have electricity until 10 minutes before the stream, so we didn't manage to chat and get acquainted a bit. So we will try to roll on easily to 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 uh, get acquainted a bit during the interview. And this interview is structured. The first part is there are certain questions, and at the end is a questionnaire. So I'm going to start first with the first part, which relays, which talks a bit about you, and I want to know where were you born and where did you grow up?
I was born in Porto San Giorgio, that is a small town in the east coast of Italy, on the central part and on the opposite side of Rome. But only born, then moved to Fermo, that is 7 kilometers from Porto San Giorgio.
So very close.
I live in Bologna for university. I live in Verona for some months, but mainly stay in my area for 90% of my life. So it's I grew here.
I see. So you are what I call the smaller town guy. You grew up in a smaller town and in a rural. Is that a rural area of Italy?
It's not a real rural area. It's a medium level. So it's a mix of industrial and rural. It's not a small town. It's 50,000 people, more or less, 40, 50,000 people. So it's not a super small town, but it's not a big town like Rome, Naples,
Yeah.
Milan.
Well,
So it's a mix.
I see. Um, so growing up in a smaller town, what did you play sports? Did you play what kind of how that how this growing up in a small town shaped you as a, let's say, as a person first, and then as someone who started to play games, or did you start to
Wh-
play games?
When I start to play games,
No. How did that growing in a small town shaped you as a person? How did
okay. Don't know because it's not a really small town where very few people. So we have all the service, we have cinemas, we have more or less every kind of service in a big town, but in a small. So I think growing here is more relaxing than in a big town. I lived in Bologna. I travel quite often to Milan because of Cranio, but I never like to live in a big city because the feeling of relaxing of it has less crime, less pressure. I live in the country, very near the city, 1 kilometer
Yeah,
or less from the city, but live in the country. So during the COVID pandemic, I have the garden. I can move outside. I open the window and there is the natural rumor and not the city rumor. So it has a completely different quality of life for my test.
I see. And you apparently like this this a simpler way of living. As far as I know, usually in Italy, everything is a bit more relaxed. You have when you have a lunch break. The lunch break, I think, is at least an hour long. The Italians are more relaxed by their nature. So um, you,
Italian, Spanish.
Span.
It's the Latin way to keep life and discuss and yeah.
Exactly. And how I don't know. Growing there, did you start playing games while you were a child? Did you play sports? How did you approach games? And
I play sport, but I play soccer with my friend that with small for a period with a team. I play swimming ball for some years. I make a gymnast, but sport it's not my main passion. I changed sport during my life. I play kung fu for a lot of years. So being near masters of kung fu, but we're not competitive. Only to have the oriental way to control
emotions, your
your
emotions.
emotion.
Yeah,
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 I like it. In the period when I was from 15 to 20, I like this feeling. But my main passion is about something that related to mind.
yeah.
So it's about board game, video game, films. I read a lot of books. So this is my main passion. I travel through sports, but they are something side in my heart.
Yeah. So you, when did you start playing games? Or,
I when I was very young, when I was a child, I remember that during the I live in a big house with all the cows they live with me, and during Christmas, I take all the board games that all the cousins receive for as gift, and in the night between the 24 and 25, I read all the rules, and on 25, I'm completely ready to explain the rules to everyone. So I love the late 80 and early 90 board games like the classic Monopoly, Risico, but also Hero Quest, Star Quest, the first new idea, then passed through RPG, through the first edition of Dungeons and Dragons.
I,
So it's a very early passion
it's
to
a very
yeah,
playing games. Practically, since you're
yeah.
a child, board games was a natural thing in your family, as you call it, because everybody received board games as presents.
Yes, I don't remember to play with my family, because my father work a lot and don't spend so much time to play board game, and also my mother. But I play with my cousin, with my
Kids, with kids,
yeah,
with kids, with
with the
friends.
kids of my neighborhood.
Yeah, yeah, with friends from your neighborhood. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And when did you discover modern board games?
Don't know exactly. I start after this first new game, so Star Quest, Hero Quest, is something new. I go through Magic for many years. So I play to the Italian Championship. I meet Daniele Tascini playing Magic when I
Uh-huh.
was very young, when I was 17, 18. So and Magic take all my time and all my energy and all my creativity.
I see.
So I play for some years. Then I stopped to play board game more or less, and I studied a small part of chess. The passion about board game remains, but don't have a focus for some years.
I see.
And then I discover, I don't know exactly, 20 years ago probably. So when I was 24, 25, I discovered the Center of Catan, and this game opened to me a world, because in Italy the modern board game are not distributed. It's something really secret. It's something hidden. So when I discovered the first one, I open the box and I see
New
a new
world, yeah.
world. So I buy a lot of games and I study a lot of rules. I'm super immersed
I
in this
see.
period.
What profession do you have? What did you study in university?
I study science of education. I'm an educator for more or less 15 years. I work with children that have social problem, school problem, or simply that want to needs a place to stay for the after school. So I play with children. I design game for children, invent a story, and mainly an educator. And my degree thesis is about board games, about the educational aspect of modern board games, starting from Monopoly and pass through Risico and the Colony of Catan. So something about the story of board game.
Okay. Um, so practically your whole life revolves around board games.
More or less. I have also the passion, but I remember that I was very young. I was a kid. That, and I don't remember which an adult say to me, yeah, play now, because when you are adult you stop to like playing. And inside me I think exactly no, I play for my whole life. And for now it's true. At the moment it's true. The things that I think when I was 7 or 8, don't know, don't remember exactly my age. So I think it's the most important passion of my life. I also very passionate of books and films and some stories, but the game is really at the
Yeah.
center of my life.
Well, I think as an Italian, you should be passionate about films because Italy gave the world some of the biggest film directors in the history, Antonioni, Fellini, and so on. So probably film but let us not get into. But I usually I am a film director, and I say that board games are a form of art, like films are, like books are, and slowly I think more and more people will come towards this art and recognize it as one. Um,
It's a
it is
long
it is.
journey. As for the comics, but as for the music in the past, when when the music starts in the art break, is not a real art, and then become a real form of art. And games is relatively young,
Yeah, it is. Of
young
creativity,
form
yeah.
of creativity,
It needs
so
time, yeah, that's right.
needs time.
Now I have a. What kind of you said you started with Magic, then you discovered Settlers of Catan. Um, Towards which niche of gaming did you went to? What kind of a player you are today? Let's say. What kinds of games you enjoy? Practically, this is my question.
Yeah. I love games, so I love every kind of game, every aspect. I'm very attracted by games in every form. But I have a taste, and during the years, my taste becomes more specific. When 20 years ago, every game I open, I fall in love because each game has a new idea. If you like which game you prefer, the next one, because each time I approach to a game, it's something new to discover. But mainly, I like, for example, card game. So I like the Magic style. I still continue to play Magic after 25 years. When I discover Arena or online, it helped me to save time and don't have to collect cards. And so I still continue to play this kind of game. I like this. I like the idea to build my own deck. So this kind of game, I fall in love with Terraforming Mars. So each game that has cards combo, that has variety of combination, I like it so much. I like the heavy Euro game, but I learned during the years. I don't like so much the games that has length over than 3 years and a half. So when go 5, 6, but probably mainly because I don't have time now. I have family, so we play in the evening, and we have at most 3 hours. We don't have all the afternoon to play as when I was young.
So you prefer games which are 1 hour? 1 hour? Did you say 1 hour or two?
No. From 30 minutes to 2 hour and a half is all okay for me. For my feeling, when the game is lighter, I'm less.
Less stressed.
I'm less open to play everything because don't take so much of my time. When I play 2 hour and a half, I need a really great experience, so I'm more selective. But I play most of my favorite game is a long game, like Terraforming Mars, like Great Westward Train, like this kind of game.
I see. Now, at some point, there was a light there. There was a bulb who was waiting to be lit. When did you start transitioning from a gamer to a game designer?
It's complex because I started to design game when I was child. I changed the rules. I remember that I play HeroQuest, and I don't like that there is aesthetic elements. So I create rules to make the library, all the things that are only aesthetical elements have rules to work on it. And then with my cousin, I start to design game. I design a game about soccer when I think I was 10 or 12, more or less. And all the neighborhood play this game. It's you create your team, and then you play the championship using a cardboard with the face of the football player, and we change every month. We change the rules, we update it. So I started designing when I was very young. I stopped a little bit between 15, 17 to 25 probably, because magic, because university, because distracted from many other things, and restart. It's an age where you have a lot of things discovering the world in your life. So, and then restart probably 25 years old, more or less, and start to design a game that I want to play but never find in the market. So I remember I designed a dungeon crawler or modular map, something like that, and then go on. I meet the Italian community of game designer that helped me a lot to grow and learn how to design. Attend to the Premier Chimera for the first time. I think it's 18 years ago. And it's a big contest for game designer.
So you usually what was your first game before I get to that question? What was your first published game? Was Tolkien with Daniele Tascini?
No, it's not my first game. No, I published my first game in 2009.
I see.
And it's a game named Frutti di Mare. It's a sea fruit, but the name is in Italian also. Yeah, sea fruit. The name is Frutti di Mare, and the name is in Italian also. If it's an Austrian edition, it's published by Piatnik. It won in 2008, I think, or 2006, the best card game at Premier Chimere. It's a super simple child game, very super simple, and I don't point so much on this game. But people enjoy the game. Also, in the final, reach the 6th or 7th position, and it's the best card game, and Piatnik published it. And it's go quite well. It's sold over than 10,000 copies for a small card game. My first published game. It's not bad, and I'm quite happy about the result of the game. And we published back with Cranio as changing the theme some years ago.
And how did it feel to have your first game published? How was it?
It's a blast. For a designer, it's a blast when you receive your first copy with the name on the box, and your prototype become a real game with real card. It's something really emotional, big emotion.
Especially if you say you started designing at 10, 12 years of age. It was a real passion of yours. You work. The first game which came to my attention was Tolkien. This is the first time where I really heard about Simone Luciani and of course and Daniele Tascini. Then I think it was Grand Austria Hotel. On most of your games, you work with other designers. This is the way you want to work. This is the way you work better. This is the way you work best with other designers.
For sure, I work better, and mainly it's more fun. It's more interesting. It's more stimulating. A lot of not a lot, but some people ask me, why you don't design a game only by Simone Luciani? And I say I did it. I have 3-4 games designed by mainly myself, and it's okay, but it's not my goal. My goal is not to prove to the world that I'm able to design a game alone, but my goal is to create a better game, interesting emotion, interesting gameplay. So it's more fun. It's helped a lot, and it's more fun to me to collaborate, to discuss, to change idea, to fight for your idea with another people, and try to compromise in the middle. So it's really stimulating.
How do you approach this working together? Someone comes up with the idea, and how does it work? So, one is the designer, the other way works as a developer, or both goes in this as designers. And how do you approach this collaborative process?
It depends. On each game, the process is different. But in the last years, mainly because I'm working as head of development in Cranio, and also I'm follow all the development process, the game selection process. I have a lot of designers that come to me with, oh, I have a game, I want to publish it. And a lot of time happen that I like one mechanics, two mechanics, but want to change the rest of the game. So in the first time happened is with my friends Virginio Gigli, and I don't know this way of work. I see, for example, I'm very young when I start to work on Lorenzo. I'm very young as designer, but also more young as developer. I start with the work to collaborate with Cranio, and Virgilio give me this game, and I have a model. I have a model that of developing game and to be a good editor, and my model is Unseen Look. So I know how they work deeply on the game, changing a lot. So I like this way to work on the game, but I don't know how to do it, and also how to explain to the designer, because it's not something easy to say, oh, okay, change the 70% of the game and keep the 30%. Are you okay? It's something little bit difficult to say. And when I start to work on Lorenzo, I don't know how much I want to change of the game. I'm not able to plan ahead the direction. So I try to work and
see what happens. See how it
see
goes.
what happens, exactly.
See how it goes.
So in the middle, I say that the game changed a lot, changed the main mechanism, changed a lot of. So I discussed with Virginio if it's okay to add my name to the box, and later in the other game, I learned how to plan ahead this work, this development, and I discuss with the designer before take the game. So I go to Tommaso Battista and say, okay, this mechanics is nice. Do you want to destroy everything and rebuild around it? Okay. I'm not sure that it works. Okay. And then we try
to see, okay,
to rebuild the game around the mechanics mainly. So change everything, and it's a long journey, but led to a good game. So Tommaso is happy and I'm happy. And then I repeat this process in Newton. For example, in Golem, the path is different because we met with Virginio and discussed the original idea from the beginning and interact from the beginning. So it's a little bit different, but depend on which game I work on it. Depend on the project.
Yeah. What do you like better, the designer's hat or the developer's hat?
It's completely mixed for me, so it's difficult to, because the developer in many editorial publisher, it's a small part of the game. So you have to fix something, you have to keep everything balanced, but you don't want to change heavily the game. I work with Lookout, Unseen Look do it and do it in a good way. But I work with Lookout. I'm working with Board and Dice. I work with Crown at the beginning, and every publisher I work on it don't like to change so much the game. So in this way, it's okay to develop a game in this direction, but it's not wow to me. It's not a big emotion. When I can change a lot, it's something very near to the design experience. But another thing that I like on the development area is to have the control of the game till the end. So you can work on the small details of the game, fix every card, and you are the last person who speak before the game go
onto print, to the printer.
onto print about mechanics. And also I'm involved in Cranio in discussion about the art, the icons, the theme. I work a lot on the theme of the game, for example. Usually it's not good for a designer to work a lot on the theme because the editor can change it. If I know that my theme is the final one, I can work on it a lot because I'm sure that my work go on the final project. So I like a lot of aspects of the development side, but also create something new. It's a really good experience. So
I see. What is your design philosophy? You believe that mechanisms are kings, theme is important. What is your design philosophy?
My design philosophy is that the final experience is the only things that matter. Okay. So my only goal is that the player sit on the table and leave the table with a big emotion and want to play again the game and say, wow, it's a blast. This is my only goal. So you can reach this goal in a different way. So you can reach with a big mechanics, you work only on the mechanics. You can work, I'm an air lover. So for me, the mechanics is more relevant than the theme because my taste go in this direction. I like to sometimes I play some American games, I play narrative game, but my heart is on the Euro side.
Side of the game, yeah. Well, so, today are more hybrids than American styles. The American style of game today is more of a hybrid. It has more and more Euro style mechanisms inside. It's not
and also Euro with interesting theme and focus at theme is more relevant in the market. So yeah, there is more mix of the two genres, not very separated.
Yep.
But so my philosophy is in the middle.
Yeah, I see it. Yeah, it's important. In the end, it's what the player feels when he plays your game. What you want him to feel something, and at the end have some sort of emotion.
So sometimes I discuss with other designer because many designers keep the originality and the center of the process, and all the originality is important. While to me, I love some game that is not so much originality, with not so much new elements in it, but very well mixed and with a great experience. So I play Dark Nova, and there is not so much new element, but the experience is very nice. It's very interesting. So I like this game, and it's a kind of game that a lot of designer I know don't like to design because they want to create a new mechanism, something new, not only mix.
Yeah.
But also mixing is something that involves creativity, that involve the right choice. So it's a good challenge.
Yeah, I see. Well, now I want to ask you a question. What is fun to you?
In board game?
Yeah, mainly in board games. Yeah.
Okay.
In games, yeah. Of course,
What?
if you want to talk about something else, you're free.
No, focus on board game because my most fun things is about board game. So I like to see something growth. So I like game building. I like deck building. I like to create something and then see how it works. This is why I love the Magic and all the collectible card game, because you create something and then see how it works, and it's more or less something very near to the game design.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
you try to build something and then you see the effect of what you build, and I love it so much. So I played yesterday evening Dune Imperium, and everything has a deck building inside. It's a big emotion to me.
You like this.
If it's well designed, so it's a very good game.
Yet,
And
yet, yet, you haven't designed any deck builders. I don't think you designed.
you're right. You're right. It's something that I like to. I design more than one hand building. So Newton has an hand building on it.
Yeah, yeah, but
Barrage is a part of hand building because the tiles work as a hand building, as
yeah.
like a card, the technology tiles.
Okay, a bit stretched. A bit stretched.
You know,
But I'll give it to you. A bit
yeah,
stretched.
it's in the form of tile, but it's a card. You play it, you have a special effect, and you get back it to your hand. So more or less, it's an hand management and hand building.
Yeah, yeah, it is. It's a stretch, but I'll give it to you.
But it's compact.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
compact because the game is focused on other things. So you play it one, two, three times at
exactly,
most.
exactly.
Yeah. I know. I have something in the bag, but not in the next future. I have two games upcoming.
Yeah,
One for the next year as hand tile building, really more heavy than Barrage, for example. So you buy a lot of tiles, you pay a lot of tile. Some of them you lose, some of them you get back.
I see.
So a special tile, but you build your hand. And I have a super card combo game for the next year with Cranio, but it's not deck building. It's like Terraforming Mars, like so
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
a
yeah. A
tableau
card
building.
combo, tableau builder.
It's card combo tableau building. It's
Okay,
another genre I like so much.
okay.
So, but I have some in mind for deck building because I love the genre. I love the idea. I think it's one of the most innovative and blast idea in the last 10 years.
Um, I see. Can I ask you, in as far as you know, what is your most played game
After Magic,
after Magic? Yeah, Magic would be the let's say the most played Euro game
probably
outside.
in the heavy side. I play Catan really so much time. I made a tournament. Now I don't play so much of the Catan. I play more, little bit more heavy game. I play 1, 2 times each year. But in the past, I play more than 100, 200 games. Then another things that you have to keep on side is
You play test a lot,
the
probably.
online. No,
Yeah,
keep the playtest on the side because, but it is the online play. So I played more than I think around 2,000 games of Race for the Galaxy.
I see.
Because on BGG, when I make a break between a prototype and another prototype, I take 2 minutes, 3 minutes, and make a game. So, but in live, probably Terraforming Mars.
I see. You really seem to have a preference for these card games. And
I
what?
admit,
And
it's true.
your favorite game is Terraforming Mars?
It's depend on the taste. It's really difficult to compare
Compare, yeah.
Clask to Terraforming Mars to Crokinole with Scythe. So it's a really different emotion. I like so much Terraforming Mars, so it's one of my favorite for sure. I like Magic, so it's one of my favorite for sure. But also like lighter game. I love so much Splendor.
Oh,
So I play. If you put Splendor on the table, I'm always open to play a game of Splendor. I love Race for the Galaxy. I love so much. It's a super game.
yep, fast and
Attention.
yep. I like the board game of New Frontiers. Um,
Never played it.
never
It's
played
it's
it.
one thing. It's one of the game I have on the list to try. Also with Roll for the Galaxy.
Yeah, I like it. Um, what? Now this is a question. I'm curious. What? Who is your favorite designer?
Mm, Probably Fister because Great Western Trace because Terraforming Mars is one of my favorite, but Jacob Friscalius
I think.
I see only this game from
Yeah,
him.
yeah, yeah, yeah. That and
Uh,
Ares Expedition, which is
Fister, yeah, but
kind
it's
of
in
the
the
same
same
game.
time. Yeah, Fister, I like the way he designed game. Not I like all the game, but I think it's also for my game. It's impossible to create every game at the top. But I love so much Great Western Trail, love so much Maracaibo, and also Mombasa. It's nice. So and also some light game. I think it's really interesting.
I
Uh,
really like Broom Service from him, which
yeah,
is
it's nice. I play. I never played. I play
the card game.
the original game.
Yeah, yeah,
I
the
played
original,
the original game from Alia,
which is
and
Brew, which is Brew, I think.
yeah, it's very nice mechanism. So I like his game. For example, another game I say, wow, it's Wolfgang Warsch, but to me it's more. It's some games that I love Guns von Clever. I played it so many times on the app.
Gangs on Clever, yeah.
Yeah, I play like for Race for the Galaxy to
Yeah,
reach the top of the months, and it's a blast. I also play the Mind, for example, and it's a super wow idea, but I don't play so much often. It's
I see.
something that it's a kind of game that to me is a super idea, but then I don't want to play
I see.
again and again.
I see.
But it's super easy. You can play with everything. My mother love it, so I think it's a very genial designer.
Um, so would you? Well, this was the last question in this part of the interview. But I want to ask you if you want to add something, something which I might skip, something which you want to tell us about, and I didn't ask you about it.
Don't understand. Sorry.
I said that now I might have not asked you something, or maybe you would have wanted to talk about something, and I did not ask you. Would you want? Is there anything you would want to talk about that maybe I did not ask you?
So a free answer, a free question.
Yeah, yeah.
Don't know. I'm not prepared on
Okay, that's good.
about the free question.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. I ask you if maybe something I missed. Maybe I didn't ask you a question which you would have wanted to be asked. That's why I asked this one. Now, before the end, I'm going to do a fast questionnaire. This questionnaire was first created by Marcel Proust, and then from this the big questionnaire of Proust. Bernard Pivot made it a bit smaller and was taken by James Lipton, and I stole it from James Lipton, which is from Inside Actor Studio. I don't know if you have ever seen Inside Actor Studio. Well, if you didn't, well, this is the questionnaire. The first question is, and you can also answer in Italian. What is your favorite word?
Word?
Word, yes.
Don't understand. Which world?
No, what is your favorite word? Word, not world. Word.
Word.
Parole, parole.
In italiano?
You can in English or in italiano. Come vuoi.
In Italian, word.
Una parola.
Don't know. It's a strange. It's a strange question because I don't have my top 10 of my word.
No.
I have that of games, of films, of.
Yeah, but a word which you like I don't know.
Okay, it's resilienza.
Resilienza. I see. I see.
I like the sound, but it means to resist against everything bad. Again, don't give up the fight. It's something that matches this concept.
Yep. You see, you have it. You just have to think a bit about it. It's there. The answers are more obvious than you think. What is your
No, it's an important word for a game designer because a development path is full of frustration, something that doesn't work, and you every time you find motivation to go on.
It's part of life. What is your least favorite word? A word which you don't like?
Indifferenza. To don't take care of of anything. So don't take care of the life, of the things, of the meaning of the things around of you.
Yep. What turns you on creatively, emotionally, or spiritually?
What
turns you on creatively, emotionally, or spiritually? Whichever.
The creativity is something really central of my life that is connected to emotion. When I find a new idea, I'm very happy. I jump from the bed with all positive feelings that the world is beautiful. When I test the game that doesn't work, everything is more ugly. So it's not my only good feeling. I have a good family. I live in a good place. So also when the games don't go very well, I'm always happy because I'm very grateful for my life.
But ideas turn you on as you ideas.
Yeah. My wife support me and receive me because I think it's not easy to live with the people that I have a new idea. It's wonderful. I have to say something to you. This is a super game. And it happen every 2 days or so very often.
I see. She's a very patient Italian lady.
I know. She's very patient.
What turns you off?
On the other side, when you work a lot on a game, it's a really wonderful work to work on a game, but you spend so many time, energy, passion, emotion on a project. When the project go bad and people are not reached by your emotion, so a game that I like it, I love to play it, but the players say, "Man, it's nothing. It's a bad game. It's really
it's a bad feeling,
something. It's a bad feeling that you need to fight or to.
So negativity.
Yeah, it's negativity because when we more time and energy and passion you invest in something, more is difficult to accept the failure of the project. if I work very few and it's okay, doesn't matter, the bad feeling is not so high. But when I work so much, and in each project I spend so much time and passion, and I'm fully immersed, and so it's not so easy to.
I see. What? And now this should be a great question for an Italian. What is your favorite curse word?
Curse word, what mean?
A
Because
curse
it's
word means when you say bad words, and Italians always say bad words.
so it's something parolaccia. It's something that bad
Uh,
words.
when you swear,
No,
when you swear, swearing. That's a curse word. Swearing.
don't understand. Sorry, swearing. A
Swearing.
moment.
Swearing. To swear or curse word is when you say Vafan, when you say things like that. What is
Okay,
your
okay,
favorite?
okay, okay, okay. Don't know, don't know.
What you use? Oh, what?
I'm not so polite. I'm not so polite my with my terms, also with my children. So I'm not super perfect, but don't have my collection of my go for, go. The classic is okay. So cazzo, merda. The classic is okay. I'm not so sophisticated in my bad
I
words.
see. What sound or noise do you love?
The sound I love probably is piano, the piano song or the sound of the nature. So I live in the country when you wake up in the morning with the birds. So the sound of the nature is sound I like so much.
And
And the bad
what is
sound
this? What sound noise you do you hate?
probably is my cat in the middle of the night.
I
I have three cats. Two of them are quiet, and one of them is loud and 3 in the night, 4 in the night, and
I see.
I don't like this.
Which profession outside the one you already do would you like to attempt?
When before I'm a designer, I was an educator, and I love it. I love it so much. My past profession is full of beautiful reminder.
Beautiful
I
moments.
remind a lot of
Moments.
beautiful
Yeah, many
emotion.
emotions.
I meet the children that grow with me and say to me, "Oh, I pass with you my best days of my life," and it's one of the best emotion of my life. So I left this job because the designing side are going really heavy, and I'm not
To
able
do.
to
Okay.
match everything. And also because I'm becoming older, and you need a lot of energy to run with, to play with children. And it is a kind of job that you need to spend all your energy on it. It's not something that you can do in the middle. Okay, I'm experienced. I don't spend so much energy on it. So when after 15 years, I'm finishing my emotional energy. So I decide to change
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But it's I love
This
it
is what you
so
would
much.
like to do. So, what profession you would not like to attempt?
Oh, I don't know, something like an accountant, something that need ask you to be organized and precise. I'm very chaotic. I'm very confused. So I'm able to design the board game because I have a vision of the project. But when I go out of that vision, I'm very chaotic person. So if I have a secretary and an accountant, I can destroy a company. So
You wouldn't want to do that, I see. um, and my last question from the questionnaire is, if and this is, I think this is also a great question for an Italian, being Catholic and everything, if heaven exists, what would you expect God to say to you when you arrive at the pearly gate?
it's not it's not a good question because I'm not Catholic. I'm agnostic.
That's
So
why the question is, if
if
exists.
exist, what I
The,
expect that God
yeah,
say to
yeah.
me, don't know. I hope that He say to me, "Good job, you did something good in your life." I hope, but don't know.
You don't have a lot of expectations from God, I see.
No, probably no.
Okay, and now we have finished the interview. I will ask you one more question, which I have in chat. Radu asks, he would ask you, where do you get your inspiration from, and how you develop an idea into a whole board game?
The inspiration come from everything. So, for example, from your life, your experience, your background, something that you see. For example, I'm working in these days. I have Danilo Sabia, the designer of Endake and Anunnaki, in my house for 4 days to have a full immersion on this game that we're going to release next year.
I see.
And it's a game about beaver. When I meet Danilo, he have an idea with a couple of mechanics about beaver.
Beaver.
Beaver, yeah, beaver that make dam, and is a small
Yeah,
animal that
yeah, yeah,
make
yeah.
dam.
Beaver. I know what
Beaver,
a
beaver.
beaver is, but I was thinking
But
maybe I didn't.
it's yeah, it's not it was not a super easy game.
It's a harder one, yeah.
It's not hard, but more or less it's a canner, but serious game. So I feel the beaver too childish, and I want to change the theme and then
Okay.
change all the rest of the game. And I suggest a new theme that came out from a film that I like in my life when I was young, but also what I like now, that is Brisby and the Secret of Nim.
I see. Yes.
So it's a game, it's a film that I fall in love when I was 15 or 20, don't remember. And I like the idea to have rats that increase their potential of intelligence, and after the experiment of human, and came out from the escape from the laboratory and create a new society of intelligent rats. And I used this idea to create a new thing, little bit different from the original one. So more technology, less magic and more technology, but we developed this idea in a new game.
I see.
So it's something you have in your head when you work. So for example, it's good to read, to see films,
For
to look at everything.
In a way, for every artist, it is very important to listen to music, see films, read books, and everything. You need to have a broader spectrum in order for you to have where to go when you're left out of the inspiration or you look for something. It's very important to have knowledge of things.
Absolutely.
And on that note, thank you very much, Simone, for this interview. For me, it was a lot of fun. I hope you felt good. I hope you felt okay here.
Very good, very good. I feel at home.
Thank you. I hope you felt good on the comfy chairs, on the virtual comfy chairs in my virtual game room. This is the way how we can make today easier interviews, doing virtual things. But I hope we can meet each other. I'm coming to Essen this year, so I will want to meet in person with everyone.
Why not? Why not?
And with that, I will end the interview. I will do an outro. I will kindly ask you not to close the connection because I would like to talk a bit after the interview. So thank you again very much for your time and for being here. It was a lot of fun.
Thank you. Bye-bye, everybody.
So this was the interview. I hope you enjoyed it. If you like what you see, as I always say, like, share, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell. It helps a lot. And it will be. I will try to add as many interviews as I can because I will try to. I think it's important for to create a link between players and designers or publishers or developers, people who bring us these beautiful things which I have right here in the background. Until next time, all I can say is I thank again Simone per l'intervista, and I'm going to say play a lot, play loads, have fun, and bye bye world, wherever you are.